What's up everyone, welcome to another video. In this video, I'll replace the Pitman arm shaft seals on a power steering box. This applies to hundreds of different vehicles, but today I'll be doing it on a 1980 Jeep CJ5. I have a pretty significant fluid leak at the Pitman arm seal. I did try Lucas Oil power steering stop leak. It didn't work for me, but it could be something to try. I made a video review on it if interested. Now let's get started. Here's the seal kit that I used, and you also need a Pitman arm puller. Product links to these items are in the video description below. Before we start tearing into it, here's a quick look at how things stack up on the Pitman shaft. From bottom to top, there's a nut and a lock washer that secure the Pitman arm, then a retaining ring that secures the washer, thick seal, washer, and thin seal. The retaining ring, washers, and seals will be replaced. First, remove the retaining nut and lock washer for the Pitman arm. It requires a 1 5/16 inch socket, or 33 millimeters. Now, remove the Pitman arm from the steering box. For this, you will need the Pitman arm puller. With this specific puller, you can use a 3/8 inch drive socket wrench, or a 3/4 inch socket. I'm using the 3/4 inch socket with a long-handled 1/2 inch drive socket wrench, so I can get some leverage and use some power. Install the puller over the Pitman arm. When you tighten the center bolt on the puller, it will pull the Pitman arm down off of the steering box shaft. Next, clear out the gunk and take a look underneath. You need to remove the internal retaining ring. And here it is. It does not get reused. Behind the retaining ring is a washer, then a seal, then a washer, then a seal. And we need to get them out. Use the pressure of the power steering pump to push everything out. There's the first washer. I do recommend putting the nut back on to capture everything, so it doesn't fall all over the ground in the catch pan. Then you can keep track of what's come out. And here's the first seal. I used the pump again, and here's the next washer. I tried to push out the last seal with the power steering pump, but it would not budge. The fluid just kept leaking around it. Unfortunately, the easy way didn't work out for the last seal. But we'll get it. I pre-drilled some small pilot holes in it and inserted some deck screws. If you do this, be very careful to just bite into the seal. Do not go deep, because there is a bearing behind it that you do not want to damage. The seal is 5/16 inches thick, so don't go any deeper than that. Now you can pull on the screws to leverage the seal out. Now we're going to reassemble it, reusing the retaining nut and washer, new retaining ring, new washer, new seal, new washer, new seal. I'll be using a piece of 1 1/4 inch Schedule 40 PVC pipe to drive everything in. It's the perfect size. Now lubricate the seals with petroleum jelly. This will protect the lip of the seal when sliding it onto the shaft and rotating the shaft, and it will also stick to the washers and keep them from falling out when installing them. Clean off the shaft and insert the first seal. The two seals are not the same. One is thick and one is thin. This is the thin seal. And insert it with the flat side down. Carefully slide it onto the shaft without damaging the lip of the seal. Then use the PVC pipe to tap it up into the steering box and seat it. Next is the first washer. Then the thick seal with the flat side down. Again, carefully slide it over the splines. Then tap it up into place with the pipe. Now install the last washer. You may need to hold it up there, otherwise it might fall back out. But the petroleum jelly is holding this one in place. And the last item is the new retaining ring. Get it inserted. Then give it a tap with the pipe, just to make sure it's fully seated in the retaining ring groove. Everything's looking good. Now it's time to reinstall the Pitman arm. Note that there is a wide spline on the output shaft. There is also a wide spline in the Pitman arm. These need to line up. Rotate your steering wheel as needed to line up the splines. Then apply some grease and reinstall the Pitman arm. Use the original hardware. For me, it was a spring lock washer and a nut. tighten the nut to 180 foot-pounds. Of course, refill your power steering fluid and bleed the system. But that finishes off this project. The seals are replaced, and there are no more leaks. As always, I hope you found this helpful. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. And now it's time for the ultimate test. Here we go.